That looks bad. That looks bad. That looks bad. And that looks bad. Hello and welcome to another episode of Warhammer Motorsport. My name is Oliver and here is part 2. Alright, so we've got the diagnosis all done. We have a stuck injector in cylinder number 4. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this bad boy apart and we're actually going to fix the problem. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look and see what do I need to take off to get to my fuel rail and get to my injectors. Okay, so what I have here, I have a coolant line. I need to take off 2 Torx right here. They're probably 30s. We'll go through that. Torx 30s right here so I can move this coolant line. Then I need to remove this Torx and this Torx right here so I can move all of this coolant line right here. I'm going to go ahead and take this pressure sensor off right here. Then what I'm going to do is take the throttle pipe, disconnect the throttle pipe, right? So then all we have on the intake manifold is the throttle body, right? Then what we need to do is take the this bracket right here that props up the manifold. We need to take that off. We need to also disconnect there's a Torx right back here for this fuel line, so we need to take that off as well. Last thing we need to disconnect from the manifold are these connectors right here. There's a bracket on here. We need to disconnect that. Then all we need left to do is to disconnect the manifold. So there are 2 Torx all the way down. Once we have taken all of those off, this thing should just pull right out. If not, I'll let you know what I forgot.
Toast it up.
All right, now what I've done is I've got all of these Torx 30s loose. We've got all of these little accessories that are loose, so we are ready to pull this manifold out. Just a brief tool situation of what I've been using. I've been using a Torx 30, a bigger flashlight. I got different sized screwdrivers, big ones like this and pocket ones like this. I've got a 13 right here. That is for the hanger bracket back here. And then also I've got a Torx 20 for this one right here because I'm using the new speed attachment right here. So that's pretty much everything that you are going to use. Nothing too crazy, but these long extensions like this, these are really going to help doing this job. All right, so I'm going to take the rest of the 30s out and pull the manifold out. Now it's a moment of truth. Now we're going to take our manifold out and we'll see if I unplugged everything. Alright, well, that was a little more ridiculous than I thought it was gonna be. So, I've got the manifold off. Alright, let me tell you what I had to do. Alright, first of all, you cannot take it off unless you take the oil filter housing off. So, take the oil filter housing off. These connectors, there's one screw here and then there's another screw on the other side. Now what you need to do is you need to take it off, move the manifold this way so you can get to that other screw so you can take it out. Next, there's a sensor right here. Okay, there's a sensor right here. It's blocking it. So you have to unscrew it and then push it to the side like this so you can push it out. All right. Now, this fuel line right here has to be taken out as well because this right here keeps hitting it. This right here, controls the flaps, okay? So this has to be, this has a free and clear to come out, right? That's why you need to take your oil filter housing off. Now, like I said, the best way to do this is pull it out, pivot this way, get underneath, get that second screw right there, and then it should come right out. Now, if you've also noticed, I've taken off my intake right here and right here, just to get more to the side right here, so you can see everything and guide everything out. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, sorry I didn't capture that. I was getting a little frustrated taking it out, but that's the keys right there. Taking the oil filter housing off, removing this fuel line right here, this sensor right here, disconnecting it, pushing it over to the side like this, pivoting it over like this, undoing the screw right here, and then the rest of it should come right off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fuel rail off, and then I'm going to take the injectors out, and we'll put the new ones in.
Wait, hold up.
So we've got the fuel rail out like this. We're going to replace all 4 of these injectors. I'm going to keep these 3. These are the good ones. Well, good ones. So just in case we need these, we're going to hold on to these. And then this one right here, we're going to throw that away. All right, so this is our fuel rail right here. Okay, we're going to leave our broken one off to the side. We're going to put our good ones off to another side, just so we know that they are good. So to take the fuel injector out of the rail, you're going to move it in a circular motion like this and pull out. All right, boom, there we go. We pulled it out. We're going to put it over to the side where they're good ones. All right, so this is our new injector right here. This is how it comes, and this is our old one. So we need to take these carriers right here and transfer it over here so we can install it in the fuel rail. So we've got all of our 4 injectors ready to go back into the rail. Now, when you're putting these back in, you want to make sure that these seals right here do not pull up or get pushed down. They need to stay in this orientation right here. Now, what you want to do is you want to get some silicone spray or some lubricant to put on the seal so that it'll push inside in here nice and easy.
Toast it up.
All right, so we've got all of our injectors in the fuel rail. We've got them oriented in the right direction so we can easily plug the electrical connectors in. So now what we got to do, double check that we're seated correctly. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this back in the car. We're going to seat it in. We're going to put the screws in. We're going to put the electrical connectors back in, and we're going to call it a night. Once I put this in, that's the end of part 2. Whenever we're talking about direct injection, we're gonna have some carbon buildup in these cylinders. Now, like I said multiple times, I've got 87,000 miles on this car, so we should check this and see what our carbon looks like. And it looks really bad. That looks bad. That looks bad. That looks bad. And that looks bad. All right, so based on that right there, I need to do a carbon clean. Well, it's a good thing I got everything off. So I'm gonna do a carbon clean. I'll do another video to show you the steps on that. We do it here in the shop. Blast that out, make sure it's all clean. Maybe that's my 10th, maybe that's my 2/10. I don't know, maybe that'll help just a little bit, but we'll check that out. I didn't think it was gonna be that bad because of the 85 and the little bit of method I was running, but it's okay. All right, so that is the end of part 2 right there, replacing the injector, taking out the manifold, taking out the old injectors, and putting the new ones in. Now, I thought we were gonna end there, but looking at those, looking at the head and looking at the valves, we need to do a carbon clean. So we're gonna push it to a part 3, where I'm gonna show you how to carbon clean this car using walnut shells. We're gonna use the very fine stuff and air pressure. So I'm gonna show you how to do that, make this thing clean. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for part 3.